The US government is phasing out copper pennies. They're phasing out zinc pennies. They're phasing out all pennies. And this is not good for the US currency, but it could be good for you. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what McDonald's is doing. And honestly, I tried to find a McDonald's that had a good cell signal because we're live right now, but that didn't happen. So imagine that this Walmart center has got a McDonald's in it, which it probably does. All right. And if you don't start collecting those copper pennies now, and copper pennies are dated, 1982 and older, all right? They're made of mostly copper. And I'm not joking when I say someday in your lifetime, they will be worth a ton more. They're already worth 3 times as much as the face value of that 1 cent penny. But the US government's getting rid of them, and you're going to see an instant boost in inflation when companies round everything up. All right, here we go. Out of ABC News, as pennies phase out. And real quick, I want to make this very clear. When I was a firefighter, I'd already made my first million. I was trying to help other firefighters make money and everyone around me, and they would all make fun of me. I was sitting there at the fire station while the guys were playing video games, buying boxes of pennies from the bank and separating the copper ones from the zinc ones, and then re-rolling them and the zinc ones and bringing them back to the bank. And the guys would mock me like crazy. I went from that, never having any help from family and things like that, other than my amazing family helping me, raise me and take care of me. But I mean, I didn't have, a wealthy family that was giving me all this stuff. I went from that to this. And yes, I paid cash for it. I'm not joking. That's not bragging. Every single person watching this video can do that. Do me a favor. Type yes if you completely agree with that. Yes, I can go from pennies to whatever I want financially, all right? Now, this is an important story, so let's dive into it. Since the U.S. Treasury halted the production of pennies earlier this year, some businesses, including McDonald's, have adapted their payment options to keep up with the times and ensure transactions run smoothly amid resulting penny shortages. Hopefully, it's all of you, Ninja Nation. Type Ninja Nation if you are part of this movement of people that are prepared, not scared, that are taking all the copper pennies off the market. Says a representative for McDonald's USA confirmed to ABC News that some locations of the fast food chains have implemented a new system to round up or down to the nearest 5 cents on cash payments. Just throwing this out there, it's really easy for them to change their menu totals to round up. Says if a customer does not have exact change. Following the discontinuation of pennies nationwide, some McDonald's locations may not be able to provide exact change. We have a team actively working on long-term solutions to keep things simple and fair to customers, the company said in a statement. The company also added, McDonald's said, this is an issue affecting all retailers across the country, and we will continue with the federal government to obtain guidance on this matter going forward. Well, let me give you the guidance. Our dollar is hyperinflating, and it's actually starting at a rapid pace. The government numbers on inflation are 100% false. They're straight up lie. If you believe them, you need to please hit the subscribe button and stick around, and I'll show you things that will actually lead you to becoming more and more wealthy, all right? Start thinking like wealthy people. Wealthy people own things that are created, that are here on this earth. Land, water, metals, everything from steel, iron, copper, like a penny, gold, silver is a metal, right? They also own, they own anything that is in the earth because it is a finite resource, and it is incredibly important that you start doing this. And I say this, and it's fitting that this news story came up because I'm like, I got to put some miles on this thing. I barely drive it. And truthfully, so my point being is that I wanted to be able to show like going from nothing to whatever you want in life because you either broke out of the rat race. I mean, come on, seriously, do me a favor. Type 1 if you're just so sick and tired of your job. There's nothing wrong with that. I was a firefighter, had the most amazing job in the world, and I was so burnt out because of the people I worked with. They were going nowhere, and they wanted everyone else to go nowhere. So if somebody started going somewhere, they would get jealous and act like little children. I was so sick and tired of it, I walked off the job 2 years before retirement. I have no retirement. But I always acted, as a firefighter for 23 years, I acted like I didn't have a retirement coming. So I was saving my pennies. I was buying real estate. I was buying crypto. I was buying gold and silver. I was starting little businesses and taking that profit and not spending it on fancy things when all of our friends and other family were going on lavish vacations and buying cars they couldn't afford. I saved and I grinded. So every single one of you have this opportunity. Use me as an example. Try not to get emotional, but like seriously, the only thing stopping you is you. So when are you going to get up and do something about it? Because it's, this story is about McDonald's and Pennies, but it's a much bigger story, and that is of hyperinflation. The government is stealing from you every day that prices go up. And then your wages may go up a little bit. It never goes up. Wages never, ever go up to compete with inflation. And just so you know, when your wages go up, they tax you more. If that doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what will. But you know how you stop the blood from boiling? Go start a business. Go stretch out and start investing in alternative assets. Right now, you have the most amazing opportunity to take pennies, the pennies from your spare change that you get, like, I bought a coffee. It's hyperinflating to Chizo. What did this cost me? $5.50 before a tip, right? And you get your change, go through it and find your copper pennies and set them aside. Fill a trash can. My grandfather did that with silver dimes from his hardware store back in the 60s. When they stopped making dimes out of silver, people were still, because they knew nothing about monetary resets, asset valuations and things like that, they would come and buy things at his hardware store, and there would still be silver quarters, silver half dollars, silver dimes, and he would take those and he would set them aside, and he filled a trash can. Do you know what that's worth now? Can you imagine being able to go to your children or your grandchildren and go, here, I set this aside and it cost me nothing except for the face value of the coin? It's life changing, and what it does is it will change your mindset. And that's what I want for all of you. There are really hard times coming. I'm not joking. There will always be stock market booms and stock market busts. And every time there's a bust, a lot of people lose their jobs. And we go through a mini reset every 7 to 10 years. It's called the Shemitah cycle. Look it up. It'll probably change your life. But every 50 to 100 years, there's a really big crash, and we're in a Great Depression cycle right now. And just so you know, the Great Depression came from a little crash called the Depression of 1920 that happened from a flu pandemic. Weird, huh? So we're on a 100-year cycle right now, going towards complete just desolation in markets. So I want you to be out of debt. I'm going to put a link down to a bundle course down below, the Credit Score Pro and the Get Out of Debt course. It will change your life. I know people that bought this and it's nothing. It costs like barely anything. That went from 760 credit scores to 840. And banks are actually paying them to take their loan instead of another bank's because they need that credit score so bad. Go ahead and check that link down below. I think it'll change your life. Actually, I know it will, because it's all the stuff that I learned from 30 years of being an investor. All right. I hope you got something out of this. The Economic Ninja is out.